Hey guys, how's it going? Oh, let's see. I'm just trying to get this. Hey, what's up, me? Just trying to get my Facebook links posted. Let's see if they're posting my links yet. Oh, here we go. All right, let me just share this. Okay. How you guys doing? Let me know if... Can you guys hear the music at all? I'm just trying the music thing again, just a little bit, just lightly. Just making sure it works. Hey Chris, what's up, Winston? How you guys doing? So apparently, for some reason, I lost the pants and the shirt from last week's stream that I did on the Pixelogic. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Bay? How's it going, man? I've been loving the VR stuff you've been doing lately. It's so cool. Okay. Anyway, let's see. So this is what we have. I'm just kind of trying to get back to where we were before I lost his shirt and his pants. So it's not going to take, doesn't take too long to build those again. Hey Sophane, how's it going? How's everybody's Monday? Going well, going well. Just adjusting these pants. Adjust your pants, mouse. His little vest shirt. Oh, really? That's awesome to hear. That's cool. I wondered if it would work. I'm sure it would, but how well that would work with, you know, in VR. Because I know there's primitives and stuff, so very cool. All right, let's turn on. See, that's not going to work. I'm going to turn on creasing on the edge of this and see if I can get some better topology without having to retopologize the whole thing. Thanks. Yes, this concept is from Mars. Mars Attacks. Mars. Thanks, Neil. You're awesome. Okay, so to do this, I'm just going to go to Geometry, hit Crease, turn up my tolerance, just so it creases just around the open edges. Then, with the new Z-Remesher, you can do keep creases, which is kind of cool. And then just try different Z-Remeshers and see what happens. Yeah, it's not so good. Let's turn that off and see what it does. That's not the best either. Let me... Oh, because I'm doing half. That's probably why. Let's try one. Try keep creases again. Ugh. It's a little better. Not much. At least it's kind of getting a path going around the outside edges. Yeah, retopo can be fun for sure, but it's like trying to get the automatic retopology to do what you want it to do. Even with this new Z-Remesher 3.0, sometimes it's an exercise in frustration. But it's much better than it was for sure. And sometimes I like to try these the Z-Remesher guides as well to wrap around. But this is why, you guys, sometimes I'll just like, you know what? I'm just going to draw it on there. You know what might work too? I'm going to try something. Just because it works so well, I'm going to try putting some groups around here. Why not? And then hit keep groups. because so the new ZRemesher 3.0, it likes to use, well, they built it to work with hard surface stuff, right? And so Fane, the ears are thick because I haven't adjusted them yet, so I'm still getting there. This is about 2 hours worth of work, I think. Maybe 4 hours worth of work. Yeah. Okay, so I'll get there. Don't worry about it. So let's try keep groups. See, much better. I mean, not in the inside, but as far as wrapping around the edges, it's pretty good. Let's remesh that now. Yeah, even better. Okay, I'm happy with that. Then you can just come smooth these groups out. Just make sure I'm not making sure I'm not missing any comments here. Hey player, yeah, welcome Zaf. Let's see. Could you make a mask poly group around the holes then ZRemesh? Yes. Is that kind of what you meant? This music's pretty fun. I'm turned up a little bit. Probably just can't hear it. Yeah, it's kind of fun. So, you know, I used to not have very good results with using keep groups, but now it's yeah, it's pretty good. I like it, and it keeps them even, like 2 rows of even polys. That's pretty cool. And later on, you can use those poly loops to your advantage, where if you want to do like little edges, like I don't know if we can see any on this image here, but you can use those to make like little details and things. Okay, so let's, I just want to build these boots. It kind of looks like his feet are sticking out and they're just wrapped. So let's zoom in here and see if we can figure out exactly what's happening. Laquana, yeah, right? All right. So, yeah, it kind of looks like, oh, I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, it almost looks like he has 2 different types on. One is his toes are exposed right here, but then they're covered over here. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I might just, I think I want to have his toes hanging out, the boots. So we have these kind of boot cuffs that his pants are tucked into, and then the wraps that are wrapping around his feet, and then having the toes hang out. I think that's what I want to do. Hey, what's up, Sean? Epic Games in Culver City. Is that where you're at right now? What are you doing there? All right. So first off, I'm going to make the boot cuffs. And you'll notice I have some interesting new shadows happening in my scene right now. You're the training assistant? Oh, cool. Okay, that works. Have a little string around one of his toes. That might be kind of fun. So it doesn't like shift and wrap up there. Okay. So I'm turning off. So you can see these shadows. I actually loaded up, when I started this guy, I loaded up this cartoon render right here. And then I put the Skin Shade 4 on here. And what that did is that gave me these kind of crisper shadows in my scene. Then I turn my object shadow down. So if I turn it up, you can see, you can get it much darker. But I turned it way down so it's really light. And it just kind of gives me a crispy, hard shadow. So it's kind of cool. Sean, I'm liking 2019 a lot. I love the new ZRemesher 3.0. I love the filters. Yeah, it's got some really cool stuff going on. And I love the cameras. The cameras are really cool as well. I haven't dug into the new spotlight building stuff as much as I'd like to yet. But it looks like it's a really fun way to experiment and build things pretty quickly. So, the darkest dungeon narrator. Oh man, that's funny. I'll have to listen to him and see what he sounds like and see if I can mimic him. But all right, So I'm going to see if I can snag the color off of this and fill in his pants again with the color. Make sure I got RGB turned on. And then we'll grab his shirt, grab this brownish color, dark brown, fill that in again. We're kind of repeating from last week. How come you're going to wait till June, UKV? Also, you guys, if you don't have it yet, if you don't have ZBrush yet, I have a code that will give you $30 off of a 6-month subscription. So if you're interested in that at all, I'm going to show it to you right now. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Let's show you guys Mr. Blue Man. How about this? So this guy's rendered with the new cartoon filters, cartoon shaders. And so that's the code. Is it behind my camera? Yes, it is. Here we go. So 3RQEVJQ6. I'm like reading an I thing. Yeah, so they're doing a trial, which is $40 a month. Not a trial, it's a subscription. $40 a month subscription, or a 6-month subscription, and this will get you $30 off that 6-month subscription. It ends on the 20th. This promotion ends on the 20th of March. Also, they also have a perpetual license like they always have. If you already own ZBrush 2018, this 2019 is free. So not a big deal. Hey, what's up, Peter? How you doing, man? Okay. All right, here we go. Let's make some more stuffs here. Let's get into his boots. Now with these boots, I'm just going to draw some topology around there and then add some thickness. I might just snag it from the pants. Use the geometry that's already there. So how we do that, like I've showed you in the past, let's see, just duplicate the pants. Yeah, Chris, they're not doing that. I haven't asked them why, but I should ask them why. See why they're not doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna hit auto groups. I just hide a loop, hit auto groups, and then I want to mirror and weld this so they have the same. Well, I can't, I guess, when it's hidden. Okay, so mirror and weld. Just to put those two leggings in the same poly group, then isolate it, hide it, and there we go. Okay, so now we have these two pieces, and I think I don't want the top, so I'm gonna hide that and delete it as well. And we're gonna move this out in space. So what we can do with just kind of tap and move the gizmo to the, whoops, come on. I think it accidentally grabbed a different subtool. Bring that back. Here we go. I'm going to solo it. And is it in? Okay. Because if you hold down Alt and tap on an object, it's going to select that object. But it also, if I want to reorient, sorry, if you hold down Control and tap it, it'll select that object. But I want to orient the gizmo on the surface of that thing. So I'm trying to remember. Okay, so if you hover over this yellow circle in the middle of the gizmo, see how it's in the little text down there, it says hold Control to inflate. So I'm going to hold Control. Here, let me turn on local symmetry, and then hold down Control and inflate it out. And that's just going to offset it from where it's at. It essentially just moves everything on their object normals. Nice mouse. Thanks, Peter. Did I not fill the pants with red? Come on. Fill with red. Okay, let's rotate this. Why didn't that fill with red? Okay, it did it this time. All right. Sometimes it doesn't work. If you make the chest of the mouse smaller, it will be better. Possibly. This is just the vest. So what I like to do is I like to start building and getting all the armor pieces in there, and then I'll react to the proportions and things like that, and kind of figure out the size. So, like if I turn him sideways like this, and kind of get him into that position, I feel like he is he's still looking pretty good. After I get that armor and everything on there, I'll react to how much volume that's going to add and if that feels right or not. Am I missing any questions? Okay. Awesome. All right. If I missed your question, please feel free to ask it again. I'll try and catch it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to these cuffs, and I'm going to add some thickness to them right now. Recently, I've just been making my clothes just have single-sided surface, but I'm going to start adding thickness early on with this one. Let's turn on double so we can see it. Turn on the poly groups. And then extrude polygroup all. And then push it in like this to give it thickness. Siraj, does the live boolean always as easy as you make it? So is it always as easy as I make it look? No, it's not always as easy as I make it look. It takes practice, and you kind of have to figure out what, you know, how live boolean works, and then kind of work around the way it works. You know, like one really cool thing with live boolean now is that it works with folders. So you can have everything inside of a folder work with live boolean based on what's in that folder or not. It's pretty cool. So I don't know if I'll get into that with this guy. We'll see what happens. But I did, when I was building out his face, I got into it a little bit. Okay, so this cuff, I want it to be wider underneath here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this Z Modeler brush, hover over an edge, go to Transpose Edge Loop Complete. And now when I tap on an edge, what it's gonna do is it's gonna mask everything that's not that edge. Then it will put the gizmo, it should have put the gizmo inside the center of that, but I can still do it by holding down Alt and tapping on this icon right here. That's basically, it puts the gizmo in the center of whatever is not masked. So that's why my gizmo is there. And I can reset that gizmo. And now I just want to pull that edge down in space and just kind of adjust it, so the thickness isn't going up and underneath and wrapping up underneath like that, if that makes sense. So see that? Now it has more, a better bevel on it. It doesn't seem to work. Like what kind of trouble are you having? Make sure you have, so you want to make sure that the object that you're subtracting from is on top, and and then the object that you are subtracting is underneath it, and then you have to turn on this dot right here. So it will subtract out of the object above it. That's how it works. And then the folders have replaced the start arrows. So it used to be when you click, I mean, the start arrows are still in there, but see this start arrow? That means everything from that start arrow below is going to be affected by the live boolean operations. So okay. So now I can hit dynamic subdivisions. There we go. And I'm not going to put the boot wrinkle detail in there just yet. I'm just going to leave it like this. But I'm going to grab some of that color out of there and fill it with that color. Okay, and then we'll do some the wraps on the feet. Just kind of, I think his feet are still a bit too long. So we're going to shrink those down. And then I want to give him more of a heel. Oh, come on. Bigger brush. There we go. Yep, I haven't focused on those ears yet. I just put them in place. I'll be back on those ears. 3D printing? I don't know. I'd like to. John, I would like to, so we'll see. Okay, I want to give him some volume on the top of his feet more. Just kind of on the front. Okay. And then I'll cut his toes in. I'm still trying to decide what kind of a boot I want to give him, if I want his toes to stick out or not. But how do you pick colors from the light box, Chris? You have to have your ring showing. So you have to hit Z or Z. You have to have this ring showing, and then if you hover over the image and hold C on your keyboard, see the colors change? That means you don't have to click it. You just have to hover over the color that you want and then let go and then turn your spotlight back off, and now you have the color. So that's not a bad idea, Sean. Okay. Yeah, so if you guys want to see really quickly how live subdivision or how live Boolean works, so we have the sphere right here. I'll turn live Boolean on so you can see it, but basically I'll draw a insert multi-mesh cube on the surface. Oh, this has subdivision levels. Hold on a second. Delete higher. Okay, so it can't have subdivision levels. That's the first thing. Okay, now cube split, I'm just going to draw a cube on here, like this. Okay, and it can't be in the same subtool. It has to be in a separate subtool. So I'm going to split this off by hitting split unmask points, like this. Okay, now I have two objects in my list. I have the sphere and I have the cube. If I want to subtract the cube out of the sphere, I need to turn on this button right here. Now, it's not shoved into the sphere, so it's not going to do anything. It's barely touching the surface, so it's starting to subtract it right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is if I hit Shift F to show wireframe and then click the cube, now you can see where that cube is in space. And if I show the gizmo, now I can push that cube into the object like this, and it's going to subtract it. Let me turn wireframe back off. And you can see now how that cube is being subtracted from that sphere. Does that make sense? So if I want to do it the other way around, okay, I'm going to go back and turn the subtraction back off of that cube. And I have to put the cube above the sphere, okay? I can't turn on subtract right now. It's not going to do anything, okay? It has to be above it. It works in a sequential order, okay? So I'm going to move this, grab it, and move it above the sphere. And now, if I have subtraction turned off, live Boolean turned on. Okay. Now the sphere is being subtracted from the cube. See that? Gives me a whole new shape. And it will also take on the color of the sphere. It'll take on everything when it cuts like that. So, does that make sense? Hey, Shaswata, how you doing? I always wonder if I'm saying your name right. Shaswata. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Let me know. Okay, does that make sense? That's essentially how live Boolean works, okay? Then it's basically if you want to do another one, then you just go down the line. And if you don't want, you know, this to affect what's below it, then you push that start arrow or you put it in a folder. Those are kind of the two ways to make it not be affected, if that makes sense. Oh, that Z, yeah, yep, that Z color plugin. It's they've made it part of ZBrush now. Yep, it's part of it. Let's see, and it's just in plugins. So if you have my user interface, it's I have all my Z plugins in the shelf over on the left. If you crack that shelf open, you can see it right here, and the new Z colors right here. So you can click on that and it'll pop it open, and you can select a color and it will give you, you know, it has your, I don't think they're Pantone colors, they're hex colors right here. I just want to, you crack me up, man. Okay, so basically if I grab a color, not exactly sure how this works, but I haven't dug into it as much. But you can select colors up here, and it's going to give you color palettes over here. But I don't know if you can select colors from here. See, it doesn't roll over here, so I don't know. I have to get into it. I haven't messed with it too much, but I'd like to. So anyway, eventually. All right. Anyway, if you like this user interface and you like this custom menu that I've made, I give this away on my website at 3dcharacterworkshop.com, and I also have a course, an online course that I teach all this stuff in way more detail than this. I'm basically just showing you the tech here, and I actually go into the art a lot during my live streams and stuff for the students. So you can check it out, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Thanks, Neil. Okay, so since these ears are bugging you guys so much, maybe I'll take a second and edit them. Okay. All right. The ears, they're driving me crazy. Change them. I just like to tease you guys. Does the mesh stay in the subtool menu? Yes. So Shaswata, you have what for 2019? But you couldn't find it for 2018? What are you looking for? Oh, Siraj, let me see. What are you saying? After you do the make boolean, does the mesh stay in subtool menu? Yes. It stays live, it stays active until you merge everything together. So I guess that's the part that I didn't tell you. So if I go back here, okay, here's this piece again. Now it's yellow because I selected yellow. Here's this piece. If I want to make it real, if I want to make it an actual piece that I can use or print or whatever, I have to actually go in there and make a live Boolean object out of it, okay? And how you do that is you just go down to this Boolean menu under Subtool. See this Boolean right here? And then see it says Make Boolean Mesh. But this is being dynamically subdivided, okay? So you can see it says dynamic over here. That's turned on. That just means it's being subdivided 3 times as a preview, okay? So if I want to use that in the final result, I have to click on this. See, it says Allow Dynamic Subdivision. Click on that button, then click on this one. Boom. It will make a brand new subtool where it's merged together. Okay. Now if you look at wireframe, you can see that it is merged together and it's made a new mesh. Okay. So that's how you do it if you want to actually make a real one. Oh, you lost the setup files, Shaswata. They're still in the course. If you go in there and they're not on the download page for the public, but I still have it up in the course inside the how to set up ZBrush. It's in the very very first intro to the course. So check that out. It's in there. Go check it out and see. Let me know if you can't find it, and I'll send you a link. Yes, Neil, I will use Boolean on the ear. That's a perfect location to cut those pieces out of the ear. Yes, Chris. Okay, let me go back to this. Okay, So we have this this Boolean thing, right, that I've made. I'm gonna put these in a folder. Okay, so I'm gonna go click on this and hit Control F, and I'm just gonna name it Boolean. Okay, Boolean. Now it's in a folder, and I have both of these. I need to put this sphere in the folder as well, so both of these are in here. Now what I can do is I can click on this settings gear right here, and you'll notice down here, look at that, Boolean with subdiv. Okay, Boolean with subdiv. I can just Boolean that folder alone, which is awesome, because then what it does is if I click it, it's going to make the new object and put it, oh, I don't know why it did that. But it's supposed to put the new generated object on the bottom of the list, but it looks like it didn't work for some reason. I'm not sure why. Anyway, it's supposed to go, instead of making a new tool out of it and putting it up here, it's supposed to do the functionality and pop it down here. I'm going to have to do some research to see why that didn't work, but anyway. Okay, so let's see what else. Need to make Boolean, just delete the folder. You're still putting the new asset object in the tool. Oh, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't do that. It should just pop it down on the very bottom of your subtool list. That's what it's supposed to do anyway. Okay, let's get back to this and make his boots. Well, I was working on his ear, wasn't I? Okay, hold on. Listen to some like 8-bit chip tune music that Polygon recommended. It's pretty good, but I haven't listened to chip tune music for a while. Sounds like old-timey 80s video games. Or like Stardew Valley or something. Love Stardew Valley. All right. Make that even wider. It's supposed to add to this, yeah, at the very bottom of your subtool list. It's not supposed to go up to the Z tool unless you hit the Boolean down here. See this? Make Boolean down here. That will make a new tool. But if you use the folder functionality and you click on the settings, I believe, now don't quote me on this, but I believe it's supposed to do the functionality and append it on the bottom of your subtool list. That way you can still have both your original and your new without, you know, losing it. Okay, now I want to thin this out. Get it really thin. I can do that by using this detail brush. Let's see if I can. I kind of want it to fold as it's going down. Too big. I got this one warble in there. It's giving me grief. Get out of there. Okay. You need to make a GoFundMe. It's not that expensive, man. I guess it can be if you're in another country where the transfer rate is not the best. And there's not, I wish there was something I could do about that. I don't know what to do about that. Whoa. You're welcome, Gularmi. I don't know how to say your name. I apologize. But you're welcome. I guess you'll have another class later this year. I will have it more open more often than not. So just check back. I do those the opening and closing gates just to make it so I'm not overwhelmed with students. That's pretty much the reason why. Hey, Winston. Oh, you're talking to yes, that class with Eamon is fantastic. Eamon is also another streamer on here, and he talks about 3D printing and stuff like that all the time. The intro video, did you like that, UKV? I just barely made it. It's brand new. So I'm glad it's doing its job. And if you guys want to know if if you want to know the presentation that he's talking about, you just go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com and there's a button to go check it out on the front page. So I'll show you. So if you want my brushes, this is just 3dcharacterworkshop.com. If you want my brushes, grab them right here. And if you want to watch that presentation, just go right here. And then you can sign up to watch it right here. And it's really short. So, and I just let you know everything there is to know about the workshop itself. And here's some student work. You can check it out right here. So, yeah. I would love to hear what you think about it. Thank you so much for the feedback. So let's see. How can I scroll the side button menu? You're talking about in the tools? So there's a little slider right here. See the up and down arrow as I'm over here? You just grab it and pull it and move it. It doesn't work with the scroll wheel. It's just a click and pull kind of a thing to move that up and down. Yeah. So I use right-click navigation on my pen, so I can hover over this menu, and as long as you can see those double arrows like that, and you hold down right-click, you can click and drag and roll that menu up and down, if that's what you're talking about. Shaswati, you got it? Awesome. Okay, cool. You should be using 2019, man. What are you doing? I'm not going to give you crap. Anyway, the updates are free, so if you have ZBrush 2018, you should be able to get the update for free. Okay. I want to make the ear more cupped back here. No, control doesn't work. You just click and drag it, or right-click and hover, right-click and drag it. Control will not work. If you're talking about making that menu move. Okay, let's go back to making these shoes now. You guys all right with that ear? Does that look better? It's too thick, it's too big, it's too pinched, it's too this and that. Is that getting closer? There we go. It's kind of difficult because he's drawn two different ears, like from two different directions. I'm just going to, You just can't see your grid button? What grid button are you talking about? You talking about this? Polyframe? Is that what you're talking about? This? Is that the grid button you're talking about? Okay. I can tell you right now how to fix it, okay? So if you go to Preferences and go to Config, let's see. Hold on a second, where is it? Go to Interface. Go to Preferences and then go to Interface, and you'll see right here it says Button Size. Turn that button size, drag it all the way to the left. So it says, like, I think it says 40 or something like that, but all the way to the left. And then go Preferences, Config, Store Config to save it, and then shut ZBrush down, and then open it back up, and all of your buttons will be smaller on your for your real estate. So if you have a really small screen, it will fit better. So try that and see if that will shrink your buttons enough that everything will fit. Okay? Yeah, I'll get there. All right, Galarmi, I'll get there. I'll get there. This is yeah, one thing at a time. So, all right, but thanks for the feedback. I'm gonna work on his feet, and then I'll go back to his ear and do that kind of stuff. Because there's a lot of detail in there that I'm not gonna get to right now. I do big bold shapes first, then I do my armor and stuff like that, build all the armor up, and then I start working down into the details and stuff like that, like ear canals and things like that. So hurry up. Yeah, raw data, I hope that helps. I hope that helps. No, I appreciate the feedback though. Don't think I'm like, I don't mean to be condescending or anything like that. I appreciate the feedback. Okay. Click control drag should it, yeah, it does. I don't think controller alt Mordekainer, I don't know that has any, like, I'm not touching anything except for right click to drag it, or just click to drag it up and down. But he's talking about this button menu right here. You can't, I don't think you can click and drag this one up and down. I don't know. Yep, wide, that's great feedback, Chris. Check your wide button too in that menu. I think just the UI is just too big. I think you could, yeah, I think you can just click and scroll it from side to side or up and down. Just click and drag it, and I think you could move it up and down, I think. But the better option and the better fix is to actually make your buttons smaller, so everything fits on your user interface if you can at all possible. So, does that make sense? I don't work for ZBrush. So, Danya, I volunteer to do this. I'm not getting paid to do this. I volunteer. So, I'm just demoing ZBrush for Pixelogic, and then they let me talk about my brushes in my course. So, it's kind of this nice back and forth. So, and so that reminds me, you guys, 2019 just barely came out. So if you don't have it, get it. They have a new subscription monthly. They have a 6-month subscription, and I can give you a code. Let me go show you that code again really quick. Where is it? So here is the code. This is one of my characters that I've done during my stream, but the code right there will give you $30 off a 6-month subscription if you check it out. All right, thanks, Neil. And here's a bunch of my characters that I've rendered with the new cartoon filters. Super fun. And I've done all these characters during this live stream. Not this exact live stream, but I go live every Monday. So, yeah, it's been fun. Anyway, check it out. Okay. I will get these boots done, you guys. I promise. Let's see. Okay, so let me look at what the, yeah, I don't want to keep that surface. Oh, do you ever use Z-Sphere for modeling your characters? No, I do not. I'm not a fan. I use a blockout method where I block out my character with primitive shapes. So, okay. Let's, I'm just going to draw a topology on this foot. Do I know how to draw? Yes. I don't draw for a living, but yes. Okay, I'm just kind of working out where I want this topology to go. I have that green dot right there. For some reason, I don't want to go that high, but I will. Osada, yes, I use ZModeler quite a bit. I usually use it for extruding objects. I use it for hard surface stuff a lot. It just depends on what I'm doing. Should you use the topology brush? It depends. It's all about what you need to do. Like, what are the goals for your character? If you're doing armor like this, then yes. Let's go through there. That's going to be tough. Clear this out. Yeah, ZRemesher is still not, it's a little bit tricky to understand how it works. How it wants you to work, I guess. Okay. I think I need to do that same thing around the back. I'm not liking that. Hey, from Bulgaria, how you doing? Still making another. Stop it. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting lost here. Let me turn this back around and see what the heck's going on here. Okay. So let's see, I want to go like that, maybe? Try to use keep groups. Make some groups with masking, and then you turn on keep groups and try that. I've had better results with keep groups than anything. Okay, I'm going to try one more thing. I think I want a double to go down the back here. Like the front, but just skinnier. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Casoda, no, I still use other programs. I use ZBrush probably a good 85% of the time because it does most of what I want to do. But I will typically use other programs for UVs, retopology, and map baking. Am I making a spot? No, okay. Am I making a spiral? I think I am making a spiral. How the heck am I making a spiral? That needs to connect. Oh, that's why, right there. Okay, I'm making a spiral. Stop it. Because this has to go down like that. It's making a triangle. Why is it making a triangle? Oh, confusing topology. All right, I gotta focus, you guys, for a second and figure out what the crap I'm doing. Okay, that's why. I just drew it too high. So, okay, that's better. With only n-gons. So you're... Okay, I'm going to go around this way. Sorry, I know this part's boring, but got to do it. Almost there. Connect. Ugh. The only thing I'm not a fan of with this topo brush is I can't edit the dots once they're there. I always have to redraw it. Okay, so now there's my topology. So I'm going to go to draw size 1, tap on the surface, try and get it. There it goes. Okay, and then split unmask points, hit my down arrow, turn dynamic subdivisions off, and turn double on so I can see the insides. And here are, this is what my boots look like. And you can see in the back, I know my geometry is all messed up, so now I have to go back in and edit the points one by one to make it better. Kind of how I actually wanted it to look. And I can use my ZModeler brush to slide edges around and stuff too. So if I go to ZModeler, hover over an edge and hit slide edge loop partial actually. Now I can come in here and just slide this around. Looks like I can't do it on these edges because they're creased. Maybe hit uncrease all. Digital racing. Thank you. You're hilarious. That's funny. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, let's move this up. Just trying to even this topology out now from my poorly drawn geometry. Well, semi-poorly drawn geometry. Okay. I think that will do. Let's move this one over. Let's turn on the geometry so we can actually see what's happening here and see how close it is to the surface. So what I want to do now is inflate it slightly. So let's turn on the gizmo. My gizmo's up here in the corner. Hold down Alt and put it in the center. Then hold down Control and click and drag on this yellow square. And it's going to inflate it. Got to go the right direction. There we go. See that? Whoop. Do I have any courses for making joints and articulations for action figures? No. No, Van. I'm not very versed in making joints for characters. I worked on Disney Infinity, and those characters were not articulated, so I don't have much experience in that area. I would check out Eamon's course over on Mold 3D. He has a fantastic course, and I think he talks about joints and stuff like that. Like Winston's talking about, yeah. So I know about manufacturing of toys. I know about making keys, 3D printing, that kind of thing, but I don't know how to make articulated joints. Oh, thanks so much, Yukivi. Yeah, once you know the basics, like the tech, you know, the design basics and the technology basics of how to do stuff inside of ZBrush, it just opens up your whole world. It's kind of like learning chords on guitar, right? You learn guitar chords, you learn basic music theory, you learn scales, stuff like that, and all of a sudden, whoa, I can play what I want to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can start to put songs together, and then you start to work yourself into whatever genre of songs you want to play. It's not, playing guitar doesn't matter what kind of genre of song you want to play. It's all about just learning how to play the guitar in general. And it goes the same with 3D and 3D characters and ZBrush, and it's just knowing the basics, and once you have the basics down and you know how to do stuff, you can essentially model anything. A lot of people will say, well, how do you model this? Or how do you model that? How do you model a boot? How do you model, a specific thing? And it's not about that. It's about how do you model in general? And then there are tips and tricks to help you model, like hard surface versus organic versus this and that. But the tricks just kind of either they speed you up, or, they're not, it's not like this is how you model a shoe. This is how you model something with thickness, if that makes sense. Or this is how you model with the topology brush like I just showed you. There are so many different ways to do different things inside of ZBrush that there's not one way to do it. You know what I'm saying? There's a way that I prefer, but maybe the way I prefer isn't necessarily the way you prefer how to do it. So. you why don't you just go for the tub with the single string, right? That's funny because I used to play upright bass a little bit, not too much. Okay. I hit D, but that's going to shrink it too much. I want to hold that edge, so I'm going to hit crease just to crease the outside edge. Okay. And then I want to crease down this edge too, so it doesn't shrink in there. Hey, what's up, Baymax? Okay, let's hit this Z modeler and let's crease this with the Z modeler tool. So I can hit crease, edge loop partial, and click on an edge, it'll crease it. And then over here, crease it. How's it going, Blands? Haven't seen you for a while, man. How's it going? Okay, so now we have our kind of our wraps with the heel sticking out and then the toes sticking out. And then let's get the color. I think I want it darker. Maybe, whoops, let's see, maybe in that, sure, let's try that. Okay, we'll just have that. Let's see. So Fane, will you be painting this model? Like, yes, in the end it will look done. Like here, let me show you an example of something else I've done. Let's see. Pushed. That's gray, pushed. Here we go. So I'll show you something I've done in the past, just so you kind of know what I'm working on. So this is a cowboy I did last year, riding a dinosaur. So in the end, this is kind of what the level of I'll take it to, if that makes sense. All right, so yeah, this is and this is 3D printed. One second. So you can see it's right here. Like, you click on this. There you go, 3D printed. It's kind of out of focus. Let me move my microphone really for a second. So it kind of goes in this base right here, and it's 3D printed. I need to figure out a better way to display this because my camera's focused on me. No, I haven't painted it yet. Hold on a second. You see my Yoda? Hey, Yoda. My son likes to put my hat on him. Thinks I look like Yoda. Okay. So not quite to that level of detail yet. But yeah, I haven't painted anything of mine yet. I need to try. Okay, so let's see. His pants are poofier. He's got this. Let's see if I can do. Maybe too high. Okay, then I'll put those vertical stripes in much later. Okay. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Alex. And if I've missed... Oh, hey, Hugo, sorry. Hugo, how's it going? I have a question that really bugs me. I don't know if you could help me, but here it is. I'm modeling a character, but the eye globe of the character is more flat and huge. My question is if I'm going to have some problems when I'm going to rig and animate the eyes instead and make it more round. Okay, Hugo, that's a great question. The answer to that is if you can make it round, make it round. That's so if you can't quite get the surface to work, make the eyeball larger inside the head, even if that means it's going to overlap each other inside the head. Just make it as big as you possibly can inside the head so the surface is you know, is as large as you can get it, because the eye opening defines the eye size, right? So if you can pull it off that way, then do it. But there are occasions where you can't. And when you can't do that, you'll just make a surface, and then you'll either animate the pupil over the surface, or the iris with the pupil over the surface, or you can animate the UV map itself inside of a game. So you'll actually animate the UVs, the offset inside of like Maya or something like that. And that's how you can get your character to look around, is with a misshapen eye that's not perfectly round. That's how we did it on cars. So let's see. I mean, you can't really see it, but these eyes aren't round on this car. You know, it has a windshield that's kind of round, but both of those eyes are just like UV, like little squares with alpha on them, and they just move around on the surface of that windshield. So, yeah, that's kind of how you can do that. Yeah, Neil, I was actually going to do that next. I'm going to do that right now. As a matter of factly. Okay, so now with this this thing that's wrapping all the way around him, instead of drawing the topology on the surface, I'm actually going to insert a cylinder. Like this. Then split it off. Okay, we have this cylinder now. And I'm going to shrink it. Whoa, look at that. Made his pants fall down. I need to actually select this. Okay, that's kind of funny. Sorry, mouse. Didn't mean to embarrass you there. So you can ZRemesh at any time if you want, or it follows a process sometimes confuses me. Can you throw more light? So what, I guess I don't understand the question. Oh, for the helmet. Yeah, I don't, maybe add a little context. Like, what are you trying to do? What are you talking about there? Okay, let's see, about right there. It's a little too tall. Okay, I've never heard that one before, Martin. Still funny though. Okay, so I want to get rid of the top and the bottom and just have, I want to keep the sides. So what I'll do with that is I will polygroup by normals, like this. And then it's kind of difficult to select just a single row of polygons. So what I will do is I'll typically insert an edge in the middle or two. So I'll do that right now. Insert edge loop. Okay, I'm just going to put it in the middle somewhere like that. Now it allows me to select it and isolate it like that, because that selection set is based on a vertice or a point in space. And if I didn't have a point like this, then it makes it really hard to just isolate that green, and I would have to isolate the top and the bottom and invert the selection. So, okay, let's say delete hidden. There's our belt. I can turn on double just so we can see it. Then it doesn't close all the way in the front, so I'm going to delete these two, and then in the back I'm going to delete those two. So now we have those, and then just delete hidden. There they go. And now we have that that thick kind of wrapped belt piece right there. Super simple geometry. Mr. T Games, it is from a guy named Mars from France. That sounds funny, but it is. It's true. And he goes by Mars Attacks. Neil can post the link if you would, please. Yeah, he goes by MARSS, I believe. That's his logo right there. Okay. Sometimes when you're building a head, for instance, I build everything on the head, like the nose, eyes, mouth, before I Z-remesh. Yeah, that's fine. And then the next step is to make polygroups. So make polygroups that go around, like here, I'll show you. Like this. Make polygroups that go around the mouth, around the eyes. You can put some in the ears if you want, stuff like that. And then Z-remesh it and make sure you have keep groups turned on, and it will help you. It will help you guide your Z-remesher around. Okay, so I'm going to add, I think I am going to add thickness to this. But before I do that, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to. Okay, extrude polygroup all. Okay, I'm going to add, maybe not that thick. Maybe like this. Now I need to crease these edges. That's why it's giving me this weird shape up front here. Because these corners need to be creased. Crease, edge, this one, and this one. Now when we turn on dynamic subdivisions, it should be nice. Looks like this one didn't get creased. Here, another trick you can do is do group by normals. And that's going to put a new group on everything that's past 45 degrees. And then hit on crease polygroup. That'll crease everything. Then it makes it all nice. Okay, I think I might want to uncrease the front edge though. Just to try it. Edge loop partial. Because I just want the shape to look something more like this. Here, let me change the color so you can see it. Okay, see that? See how that, now the profile looks like this? It's a little better. Do you merge all the subtools together when you're posing the character? No. I use T-Pose Master, which is down here. And that will essentially combine everything at its lowest subdivision level to allow you to pose it. Then you pose it, and then you bring it back, and it will translate all of that, the posed objects, back into your high-resolution version. All right, take care, Sean. Does that help? Helmet? Does that help? Did that clear any mysteries? Okay, I'm just going to turn that. Now to make the belt, I'm going to do a similar thing and just insert a cylinder. And then conform it. But before I do that, you can see how it's like not snugged up against him. Snug, not snugged. Okay, and I want it to kind of go, the belt is being tight in the upper third location, so can you hear it, Peter? I'm gonna turn it up. It kind of sounds like the cars. Yep, just turn on keep polygroups, and it should do a better job. Should. Doesn't always, but it should. This is Popsky. Popskyy. Popsky. I don't know. It's pretty fun. Okay. So what I want to do to this is I'm going to mask the top. Well, hold on a second. I'm going to insert more edge loops. So one here. I think that's enough. That's where I want the belt to wrap. So I want it to flare out. So let's mask that off, invert the mask, show my gizmo. Put the gizmo up here. then flare it out a little bit like that. Do the same for the bottom. Flare this out like that. And I can also mirror and weld this just to put it in the same polygroup colors like this. Let me see what it looks like if I uncrease this front edge too. It's not bad. Kind of has this weird pinch. I will keep it though for now. Okay. I believe so. Helmet, yes. Because it allows you to keep your low resolution mesh. Dynamesh just gets too... It just gets too dense. Yeah, no worries, Brian. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, let's go. I'm going to insert a cylinder again. And split it off again. I don't think the mouse has a name. I think it's Gary. I don't know. Archibald. Who knows? Okay, let's grab a different color. Maybe this color. Fill it. Kind of want it a little lighter. A little yellower. Yeah. Too much. Okay. There we go. And now it's a little too perfect, so we need to add some chaos. Chaos. Un-CGify the whole thing. Kind of some good guitar. Kind of looks like he's got a pillow strapped to him. Okay, now to make this the belt piece that's coming off. Well, first of all, this is not a belt, it's a big cylinder. So I want to delete the top and the bottom just like we did before. Just go auto groups, not auto groups, group by normals. And we can hide the top, hide the bottom, delete hidden, add thickness. There we go. Now it's a belt. What 3D printer? Form 2. Form 2. Usually. Might be a little too... Yeah, that's good. This music. Doodly-did, doodly-did. Nope. Not with a Form 2. With the Form 2, it's smooth. Like, yeah, it's super smooth. So, can you see this? I don't know if you can see this. So this is a pirate girl. I don't know where the focus is on this, but anyway, yeah, it's super smooth. There's no sanding on this required at all. It's just super nice. Very nice. I'm holding it in front of the microphone. I don't know if you can see that. All right. There, I think it's focused. Yeah. All right. Anyway. You said you worked in the game industry? Yeah. So I worked at Disney Interactive for 10 years. I worked on Disney Infinity, all these characters you see behind me. And I did a skin for Overwatch. I did a Zenyatta skin for Overwatch. I worked on Warhawk. I worked for Acclaim. I worked for Glyphix and Sapphire. And what else? I've done freelance for a whole bunch. Like Microsoft and Epic and yeah, all sorts. Let's see. Somebody playing on a Game Boy in the same room, totally. Doodly-did, doodly-did. Let's see. When creating characters for animation that don't use high level of detail, what are some ways to build the detail into the geo? Maybe like wrinkles if you've sculpted it. You use normal maps. So normal maps will transfer the information from the high resolution to the low resolution. I usually build a high resolution model just like this, and then I will, I'll transfer the ambient occlusion and normal maps, all those things from the high to the low. So in the end, if I was going to use this as an animation model inside of a game, I would go and retopologize this in another program and then do the UVs on it and then transfer the maps. So I go over that whole thing. It's sorry to the pitch, but I go over that entire process in my online course called 3D Character Workshop. So you can check that out. Go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com and I have a little presentation you can check out to see if it's something that you'd want to do. So yeah, there you go. Okay. I'm going to make this belt now. Make it hanging off. Is there a way to do it without normals? So you can do it with hand-painted textures like World of Warcraft, like Blizzard does. And that is called flat shaded texturing. That uses you paint in the lighting, you paint in the ambient occlusion, you paint in all the details. So check out Tyson Murphy. He has a couple videos on hand-painted textures. Yeah, there's a bunch out there. That's how you would typically do it. Oh, I'm still full screen. Thanks, guys. Okay, gosh dang it. Hi, how's it going? Full screen. Okay. All right. Yes, do use hand-painted textures. Just look up hand-painted textures or flat shaded textures. That's another one to look up. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to grab this belt, duplicate it because I can use it. But I don't want symmetry on this one. I just want these 3 pieces. Right there. Okay, and then delete the rest. Juan, I cannot. That's under NDA. I wish I could, but no. Okay, I'm gonna bridge edges. So that, and then this, there we go. That fills in those holes. Saturday, nothing much. Yeah. Okay, now for this kind of tip shape, I want to just insert single edge loop, like that. And then I'm just going to cut a few lines in here. Okay, and then I'm going to crease this end. Crease. Is that music like crazy annoying for you guys? Okay, I'm actually gonna crease this edge too. There, I'll turn it down. David, you hate it? Well, thanks. This is not my character design. This is a design by a guy named Mars. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of pull this out using I'm gonna use snake hook. Let's see, turn off RGB. Just gonna bend this out. And then kind of pull it down. Then I'm going to crease this little, oh, not the whole thing, just this edge. Like that, just to get that point on there. This one's kind of annoying though. I'll try and find some less chiptune type music. I like ambient stuff like music or movie soundtracks and things like that. Yeah, Helmet, go check out that link that Neil just put up. Thanks, Neil. That's a good one. Okay. So now to make this tip on the end of the belt, again, a lot of people tend to go, okay, I'm going to extrude it off of there. I'm going to make the faces. I'm going to extrude it, but I tend to make different parts. So I like to keep my material separate. So so that's metal and the belt's made of leather, I'm going to make a new piece. It does. It does. I'll crease those edges back up. I'm not a fan of what it's looking like right now. So I'm going to duplicate this down. Whoops. Okay. What is this music? It does. Your seats can be used as a flotation device. Okay, so just this piece, I want it to go like chug, chug, chug. Okay, so the reason I put these cuts in here is because I'm going to use them. So that's essentially it right there. Delete hidden, and then bridge these gaps with the Z-Modeler brush using bridge. Bridge edges. With bridge edges, you click the first edge like this, and then the second edge, and then it puts a bridge across. So this one, then this one, this one, then this one. And there's that. I want to pull these around. Okay. Now I'm going to have to inflate it. So let's center this. Hold down Control and then inflate it. Whoop. That's Alt, Control. There we go. Just to give it a nice edge around here. Okay, and now I can do the group by poly or group by normals trick and then crease by polygroups and then hit D. And now there's my piece. I can make it gold. It's like a brown. Where's a gold? Maybe this gold right here. Or this. There we go. Let's try that. That works. Okay. So I'm going to go de-life preserver this thing. I'm just going to hit crease by polygroups. Now it's a little better. Looks more like a thick slab of leather, but I mean the edges are really sharp. I'll go in there and make them not so sharp later. Okay. So that belt is a little bit. Need to go edit it. Whoa. Just going to make it shorter. Thanks, Sophane. That's the goal every time. Just going to put a little angle on this. There we go. It's a little better. And that belt is quite thick. I tend to make things thicker than they should be because if I ever need to 3D print it, I want to make sure it's thick enough. So I tend to make objects thicker. Okay. Now let's see. I can make these cross sections, these crosses. I can also make the ring around his vest, because right now it's going underneath this piece of leather, and it looks like it needs to be tighter around his arm a little bit. Helmet, I just barely explained how to fix that. So what you want to do is go into Preferences. I think I explained it in the video on the download page too. So watch that video on the download page and I explained to you how to fix that. But how you do it is you go into here, Preferences, Interface, and then make your button size very small. So just roll that to the left and then do Config, Store Config, save it, and then close ZBrush, open it back up, and all of your interface buttons should be a lot smaller, and it should fit on your smaller screen. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Soviet star. No. Haiti, how's it going, James? Okay, so I'm just going to make these crosses, I think. Let me see. Let me grab this vest and just kind of move this armpit ring up just a little closer to his arm. A little further out here. Okay. Less lumpy. Everybody's trying to get less lumpy. All right. And he's got this collar too. Look, this collar that's kind of coming up and peeking out of the thing. I think I can cheat And I can use this belt to make that collar. Or I can just insert a cylinder, either way. Yeah, UKV, no kidding. So it should warn you. It's like when you try to shut down, but... Okay, so I'm trying to think of what I want to do first. I think I'm going to do that collar first, because that's closer to his skin than the cross. I'm going to grab this color first. Okay, split. Unmask points. Whoa. This one. Sasa, this is a high resolution character, even though it looks low resolution. This topology is not meant to be animated. I will, if I want to animate this guy, I would take him into another program and retopologize it there. And then I would put UVs on it and then transfer the data. It's true, Neil. It's true. Okay, so let's go groups by normal. Delete hidden. And then get rid of that. Yeah, not even close. It needs to be, it needs to have extra loops in the right places so it will deform nicely. And never use a Z-remeshed mesh to rig and animate. Just please don't do that. It's not an easy way out button. Okay, awesome. It's a great question, though. Crease, let's see. Yeah, but he didn't ask that. He was just wondering. Okay, insert an edge. And again, I want to tell you guys, if you want to insert an edge right in the middle of an edge, make sure you turn on multiple edge loops and then just click on the surface like that. It's going to crease it, but it'll put it right in the middle, which is nice. Then you can just hit uncrease all. Now I can get, let's see, transpose, edge loop complete. Bring that in. And the reason I like to keep everything so low is because it's so much easier to edit like this. So much easier. Okay, now I can give this thickness if I want. Maybe this thick. Yeah, that'll be the day, right? Standard. I don't see how it could ever be done, but maybe, who knows? We'll see. Fingers crossed. Mirror weld, where are you? Okay, and then group polygroup, crease polygroup, D. Beautiful. Yeah, I can't say I mean, call me skeptical, but I can't see it ever happening. Just because I've retopped so many characters in my career that I just cannot see how a computer algorithm could know where to put stuff. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe, but I just don't. I can't see it. Okay. Give some thickness to this. Just keeping it maybe a little thicker. Okay. And then we'll do some crissy crossies. Well, I want to adjust the collar on it now. Make it a little wider. Just so it looks like that collar is actually connected to the vest. Here, how about we just hide those things? I can also use folders, and I haven't renamed anything. It's just like UMesh. UMesh everything. Whatever UMesh is. Oh, David, okay. I turned it way down. Can you still hear it? It's not that loud. It's just sometimes it gets kind of difficult to talk to myself in the silence. So today I kind of figured I'd have some music going a little bit. Because usually when I'm modeling, I'm listening to music, unless I'm streaming, and then I'm not. And it just gets a little cold and lonely. Okay, now let's find, okay, they're right next to each other. Okay. Sophane, thanks. Oh, let's show this. I just want to kind of sink this down into the collar so I cannot see it. Just so it looks like it's part of the same garment here. Juju, I don't think this guy has any fur on him. So maybe when if I do a character with fur, I'll talk about it sometime. But I don't want to stop what I'm doing to show it right now, but that's a good question. Usually I just, I'll either use a fur brush, like go get a brush or like an alpha or something and then raise it off the surface. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Okay, I'm happy with that. Jay, yeah, you gotta look at your model from all directions. If you stick it in one direction and just stare at that forever, then you're yeah, your model's not going to turn out very nice. All directions, all the time. So I know it's not very pleasant to watch, you know, somebody spin their model around, but I'm constantly dissecting it and figuring out what's wrong with it or what to fix or what to do. Okay, so I'm just going to insert just a temporary cylinder right here. Yeah. Just to give me an idea. Something like that. Okay. Trying to decide whether I might just shove a cylinder in there and make those cross straps with that. The reason why I typically tend to insert a cylinder rather than draw the topology on the surface is because a cylinder will give you even topology right out of the gate. So, you know, even spans all the way across. Hey Ricardo, how's it going? I always have a feeling that converting such stylized characters from 2D to 3D makes it so dull compared to a drawing. What is your tip on making presentation in 3D look as cool as the original? That's like the biggest question ever. It's all about it's all about the pose, of course, getting into the pose, but then just finding that appeal and just hitting it and matching it as closely as possible. That's the best way to do it. I don't really have a straight up short answer for that, you know? It's a good question. I don't know that I have an answer. Okay. Let me see where I left that gizmo. Split. Fill. Let's see. Oh, cool, Ryan. Thanks. Glad to hear. Whoa. It's flipping out. Okay. I think that's about as far as I can take it until I need to make it into actual straps. I think Soctane. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I apologize. But thank you very much. Yeah, you guys, if you want to use this user interface, I give it away for free over on my website at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. The URL is right above my head. You can see it up there. And I also teach an online course, a very, very extensive online course where I walk you through from the very, very beginning all the way to a game character, like I teach you how to retopologize, UV, bake maps, the whole works, and how to 3D print it, how to render it in Keyshot, the whole thing. Yeah, Jonathan, how's it going? Jonathan, how's it going? Hey, I love your stuff. Huge fan. So what you can do, Jonathan, is go to ZBrush Live. Like, just do a search for ZBrush Live. Here, I'll show you. So if you do Pixelogic/ZBrush Live, you go here, and then you can see all the streamers. Sorry, if you go to schedule up here. So that'll show you when I'm streaming. And if you go to, presenters. There's me right here, top left. Click on past, broadcast, and schedule. Then you can scroll down and you can see all of my past broadcasts. So I go live every single Monday. There you go. Right there. Okay. I would love to see what you do with it, Jonathan. Okay. Okay, now now that it's just single-sided straps, I can get in here and move it around. I'm just gonna mush it to fit better. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Really means a ton. Oh, thanks, UKV. Okay, I'm going to turn on transparency. You can actually see through him and see where the straps are going and what they're doing. So I want to grab them and pull them out forward so they actually wrap around his belly better. Turn on dynamic subdivisions so it gives me a smoother strap. Oh yeah, yeah. ZBrush 19 has been just kind of doing a phantom crash. But yeah, it's been quick saving, but I'll save it again. Thanks. Okay. Tell her I apologize. Okay. Let's get this strap a little closer to his body here. Okay. This strap's being kind of tricky. Because you can see that it actually goes into the gold medallion thing here, and it comes out over here. This one's more straight across, but I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know what it's doing. So I'm just going to have to do my own thing with it. Okay. All right. Hey, Sucklane, I don't do character reviews during my stream or artwork reviews. I do. If you want to, you can feel free to send it to me. I look at all my emails. I don't always have time to respond, but if I do have time, I can. You can send them to me at shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com. Also, if you have any questions about my course, feel free to send me questions there too. Excuse me, like I said, I read everything. Sometimes I don't have time to respond to every email. I try. Shrink this down a little bit. Okay. Let's look at it in perspective. Turn perspective on, and then in my new user interface for 2019, down here I have camera. I put the new camera stuff, so you can see different focal lengths. Like, so it's not so skewed, not so much perspective. This is a ton of perspective, like a fisheye. But I like 50 or more. So yeah, I think we've made some pretty good progress today. We still need to do the armbands before we get into doing the surface details, and then doing the the live boolean stuff, and doing the ears and the surface stuff on the tail and all that business. So one thing I want to fix is the width of his feet. I want to make him a little thinner. Smaller and thinner. Okay. But I still want to have that width. Like the change of direction shapes. Oh, Robert, that's weird. You should send a ticket off to Pixelogic, and maybe they can help you find the answer to that. That's strange. The new filters for rendering are a collection of different filters used to get the effect. In the render tab, look at BPR filters after you apply one. Yeah, so if you go, well, let's turn on cartoon shaded. That'll be fun. There we go. Now he's cartoon. Then let's see. I want to turn. If you go to filters, underneath render, so render right here. Sometimes I'll mount that over here. Open up filters, and here's the filters that are on this. I want to turn down. Let's see, because if I render this, a BPR render, it's going to kind of make it all. See, it's all kind of jaggy. I don't want it to do that as much. So I'm going to turn down this displace closer to 0, so it doesn't displace it as much. There, it's cleaner. There we go. Yeah, it only uses 2, just the first and the second. This is this one's a sharpen filter, and the second one is a displace filter. So, and then you can see this jaggy kind of shadow right here. That's because of the resolution of the mesh itself isn't high enough. So, thanks, Dito. Oh, what am I drawing on? Like, what is this? This is a 27-inch Cintiq. So yeah, he looks a lot of fun. Anyway, here I'll hide my keyboard, and let's turn it like this. I'm gonna actually grab his body and apply. Oh, it doesn't have dynamic. There we go. The dynamic wasn't turned on. I can see now in my surface I have some undulations that I need to clean up. Let's clean those up. There we go. Better. Okay. So let's hit BPR. Blands, were you asking questions? Do you know if you can combine the effects of NPR filters? Yes. Like the blueprint with the line sketch filter. Yeah, just go in those filters and see what they've set up, and you can kind of understand what's happening inside of each filter, and then you can make your own filter and like your own stack of filters and stack them on each other in that big list. So in like that filter list. So see all these filters, these Fs, these are filters. This one has 2. I can grab this one, add a new one, and you put it on here, and then you adjust the modifiers and things like that. You can also copy from one of those other NPR filters and paste it into here. See this copy and insert? You can cut it So, and you can load and save them. It's pretty dang powerful. So you can go in there and just, yeah, undulations is a fancy word for warble. The JC Ghost, I do, but not. I don't have time right now. I'm done streaming for the day, but you can watch some of my past streams, and I talk about how to do clothing in there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Here is my result for today. I think, yeah, we made a pretty good progress. I have a toy shader, a toy material assigned to his eyeballs. That's what's giving him the little white highlight on those eyeballs. And then everything else has that cartoon shader on. In my boots don't have thickness. That's why it's giving me this weird kind of thin line. But, all right, Robert, we'll see you Wednesday. What he's talking about is I do a student-only live stream on Wednesdays where I'm actually building a whole other character in depth. We're going to use Substance Painter to do the texture work on him, and we're using Maya to do some retopology on him and stuff like that. So if you want to come and hang out and check that out, we're on episode 11, I think, this week. Join the course. Yep, sirloin of beef is what his name is. And if you want to join, feel free to go head over to 3dcharacterworkshop.com, click the link to watch the presentation. At the end of the presentation, you will it will give you an offer to join the course, enroll in the course with us, and it'd be great to have you guys in there. So anyway, if you don't have my brushes or my user interface yet, feel free to go get those at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Also, if you don't have ZBrush yet, they now offer subscriptions. They have a month-to-month subscription and a 6-month subscription, as well as a full license where you just purchase it and all upgrades are free. Okay, so, and I have a code to give you guys for $30 off that 6-month subscription. It's good until the 20th of March. So, yeah, if you don't have ZBrush yet and you want to try it out, here's, $30 off the 6-month subscription, which is fantastic. Use this code 3RQEVJQ6. I feel like I'm at the doctor's office reading one of those eye charts. Anyway, all right, you guys, take care, and we'll see you next Monday. Unless you're a student, I'll see you Wednesday. All right, take care, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.